Leverkusen's point of view is that they're still hoping that he signs a new contract. It's kind of been forgotten in all this that he still has a contract offer on the table. A couple of months ago, it was almost like a done deal that he would sign that new contract. It still hasn't been finalised yet. But what he does with that contract really will dictate what Leverkusen do going forward. So what I was specifically told was that if he doesn't sign a new contract extension, he will be sold this summer. They don't, as you said, they absolutely do not have to sell him. They can keep him, but at the end of the day, Leverkusen are a club that do focus on making sure they get the top price for their players when they sell them. That's kind of what it comes down to. They said if he doesn't sign a new contract, they will sell him this summer because letting him run down to the final year of his contract, the way they view it is that the club can demand far less. And it's also worth bearing in mind that we're now in this era of football where top tier players like Wirtz can be easily enticed into the idea of just running their contract down to zero, because if a Real Madrid or a PSG or Man City or Man United, if they ever get back on their feet, can come around when their players within 12 months of their contract and say, look, why don't you just stay put for a year? Don't get injured, try and stay fit, but if you're willing to run your contract down, we'll add an extra 5 or 10 million euros to your salary every year. And we've seen that with a number of players. That, for a club like Leverkusen, is worst case scenario. So they absolutely will sell him this summer if his contract expires. In terms of who's actually interested, this is where I thought things got really interesting. As far as Leverkusen are concerned, his main priority remains Spain, apparently. That's where he's always wanted to play. Interestingly enough, they also said he's not interested in moving to England, which I think is really interesting, which does kind of rule out the Manchester City move, which is a really interesting one, obviously, from a number of points of view. But, as we said a couple of months ago, or even a couple of weeks ago, Manchester City really seemed to be the kind of front runners in this regard as to, the club that looked most likely to sign him. Now, when I asked about Bayern Munich, and I really pushed on this, saying, look, I need an answer on this because, there's a lot of reporting right now, especially from the Munich media, saying that he's hell-bent on Bayern Munich. His parents are dead keen on Bayern Munich. What's going on there? And the impression I got was, number one, the family stuff's been a bit overplayed because Leverkusen have a very good relationship with Wirtz's family. People might not know this, but his sister played for Leverkusen for a number of years as well. Leverkusen took him in as a young player from Cologne, which I'm sure Cologne fans don't appreciate, but they helped him not only develop to the player that he is now, but also helped him with his rehabilitation and what could have been a career-ending injury. Leverkusen still have a really good relationship with his family. It's not as if they're all, dying to will Bayern Munich fans or anything like that. But in terms of actual Bayern Munich's opportunity to sign him, the impression I was being given was that Bayern can't afford him. Now, that could just be Leverkusen playing mind games, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is. But that was just the flat-out answer I got. They said the fee that we want is something that Bayern can't afford. And I suspect the fee that they're talking about is probably about 150 million euros.